A very good morning, Mr. Prime Minister. I'm very pleased that you have given me the opportunity to come and speak at this forum. My invitation is really to say to the public and their policyholders what needs to be done to get their claims together. But as I listen here, I am again reminded of the very important function that the insurance industry plays in the building of our economy and the rebuilding of our economy. All the repairs that are being done and will have to be done are generally insured. So all the power lines you see that have to be restored, the port, just about everything is insured. So at the end of the day, we get the rap. I was very pleased again to see what the insurance industry was meant to do. And from the color of my beard, I'm certain that you will know that I was here during Hurricane David. So this is nothing new, although it is far more catastrophic than David was. So I want to thank God for such a wonderful day that we have. I think we all should be very happy and saying thank you, Jesus, for sparing us. My sympathies go out to those persons who have lost loved ones, but it is great, and thank you, Jesus, for sparing us. I'm very pleased again to see the leadership that our Prime Minister has shown and exhibited, and have visited so many countries and spoken to so many nations on the need to give help to Dominica. To my policyholders and to policyholders in general, not only policyholders with First Domestic, but policyholders throughout the entire industry, this is how you do it. First, visit the insurance office and make a statement that you have had damages. You need to notify your insurance companies that you have had damages. And one would say, isn't that obvious? Just about every house lost their roof. But it is just one of the conditions that you need to come in and report a loss and give some simple description of your loss. Very simple. It's a very one-page form in most cases that you have to fill. After you have informed the insurance company that you suffered a loss and you have filled that form, the insurance company will now put together all that information, check their files, check all their policy files to match the notification with your records. Particularly in the case of vehicles, I know that we are more focused on houses quite naturally, but there are a number of vehicles that were totally destroyed. The insurance policy, or the motor insurance policy, covers generally collisions. You get into an accident with someone, someone gets in an accident with you, and basically that's what it covers. You need to have a separate cover to cover hurricane damages. I know after Storm Erika that a number of companies have made great effort to encourage people to add hurricane cover to their policies. And I believe that persons have taken that advice. However, one of the problems I know that will arise is the fact that because of a tight economy, everyone wants to get the lowest premium or to pay the least for their insurance policy, and what they need, what they want to cover is what is required by government, and that is third-party liability. That is, if you cause accident, injuries to a third party. And so most people would leave hurricane out because that is not required by the government. But I am sincerely hoping that from the experience of Erica, that a number of persons did in fact cover hurricane on their motor policy. To move on, as I said, the first step, come in and visit the insurance office, make a claim. And it's a simple thing, just to say that I suffered damages. My house is at 10 King George V Street, my name, and I suffered a loss of roof or whatever. That's all. Basically, that's all. The insurance company, second now, takes that information, checks their file to see if the coverage exists. The insurance company will need some time, probably about 3 weeks, to check that information and also to get valuations. What is the cost of the repairs or replacement in some cases? And so we employ valuators to do that. An architect, an engineer, certified builder to do that. And the process generally is that we will take the initiative to send those people to look at the loss. In a catastrophe such as this, we cannot do that. So what we have done is to have made an announcement on the air that we have given probably 10, 15 persons who are qualified and who are accepted to come and visit your home. So all you need to do, you just get one of those persons to come and visit your home. And they will bring the report into us, or you can bring the report into us. After we have that, the next step is for us to adjust the claim, talk to you, invite you in, so that we can negotiate and agree on a final figure. And as I said, it is not you have to wait for us to find somebody to do that. We have put on the air a number of names of persons that if you know them, just simply call them up. The telephone number will be there, and ask them to come and visit you. We will pay for all of that. The insurance company will pay for all of that. Now, a number of properties would have been mortgaged to banks, to credit unions, etc. And so there is an agreement between yourself, the lending institution, and the insurance company that in case of a loss, that the loss is payable to the bank or the credit union. So I'd just like to remind our policyholders and our friends that that is the case, that it is not going to be a situation where we hand you a check. That check must be made in the name of yourself and the bank or the institution, the lending institution, and that money goes to them. We will seek to have discussions with banks to remind them that basically that settlement is not just to pay the loan, but to get you back on your feet. Because I know a number of people are worried about that. Generally, that is not the behavior of the bank, but we as insurers must also play our part in engaging discussions with the bank, which is what we will do. To make the process a much easier one, we will also get adjusters from Puerto Rico, Trinidad, Barbados, probably Antigua, who will fly in to come and do inspections along with all the other qualified people that are on island. We need to do that to speed the process up so we can all rebuild this country, and also to ensure that we have a safe place to sleep. It is interesting, and I think I need to say this too, because we have seen a tremendous amount of break-in and entry, probably referred to as looting, but it's not really looting. There are some businesses that were not destroyed or damaged by the hurricane, but such damages were man-made. That is not hurricane damage. That is break-in, entry, stealing. Those are not covered under the hurricane policies. And I'd like those persons outside there who are doing that to recognize that, because I have heard it so often, we can do it because they are insured. That is not true in every case. We are simply adding to the disaster caused by Hurricane Maria. Again, it is my responsibility, I think, to try and get the entire industry, the insurance industry, together. And I'm hoping that my fellow insurers who are listening and who will be told of this press conference will see it necessary for us to get together. And I will take the initiative to bring all the insurance companies together so that we can look at this seriously as a national disaster and catastrophe, and for us to recognize that it cannot be settling claims as we do in normal times. I am not sending out a notice for people who did not and intentionally did not pay premiums to come in and say, I forgot. But we will see this as a different approach as we saw in Hurricane David to deal with these matters. Mr. Prime Minister, thank you very much for this opportunity. And again, as I would like to say, do not consider your insurance as the last thing that you put on your budget. It is in times like this you recognize that one of the line items on your budget should be insurance coverage. Most of us, the roof over our head is not 100% ours. We borrowed money. It is one thing to lose it. The other thing is to pay for what you have lost and then to rebuild. The insurance program and contract is the only thing that will cover you and will bring you back on your feet. Thank you again. At this time, we will not be collecting money. We will be called upon to keep that promise that we made to you, the public, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, that should you suffer a loss, we'll put you back in the same or similar condition. Thank you very much, sir.